Hi boys and girls, welcome to Everyday Math Lesson Unit 4 Review. The materials that you'll need today, your pencil and the Unit 4 Math Review packet. If you don't have one, that's okay. Then write your answers on a whiteboard or in a notebook. Let's get started. So the first thing we'll do is if you could write your name on the first page of the pack. So what I'll do is I'll talk about the questions and then I'll ask you to press pause in order to solve. And I'll show you half a page at a time. So looking at the first problem, how much money do you have? If you can write down your answers for each of those three problems. And then for number 2, it says write the temperature for each thermometer on the line. So if you can record your answers on the line. So press pause, solve this page, and then press play when you're ready to check your answers. All right, second graders, we'll start checking over our answers. If at any time I'm going too fast, just pause as often as needed. So for question number 1, if I have 2 quarters, I know I have 50 cents. A nickel would bring me to 55, another nickel 60, and a penny to 61. Then if I have a quarter, I have 25, then a dime 35, 45, a nickel would bring me to 50, and then 51 and 52 with my 2 pennies. For the third one, I have 3 quarters, which I know is 75 cents, a dime for 85, and then a penny to bring me to 86 cents. And if you're noticing that you have any mistakes, please fix those with your pencil and eraser. For question number 2, looking at that first thermometer, I can see that that would be 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Looking at the second one, so I started at 60 and I count each of these dashes by 1. Sometimes we count by 2s, but looking at this one, I can tell that we're counting by 1s. So I should have had 66 degrees. For the third one, I can either start at 10 and count up, or I could start at 20 and I could count back. But either way, I should have 17 degrees. And then for my last one, I would have 73 degrees. So if you had anything different, I would like you to just double check that thermometer one more time to see how closely you can take a look. All right, let's look at the second half of the page. So for question 3, for question 3, we need to fill in the thermometer to show the correct temperature. So this time they give me 63 degrees, I need to show that with my pencil. They give me 26 degrees, again I need to show that amount. So can you press pause to solve and then play to check your work? So for question number 3, my thermometer should look like this. Notice how it's 3 degrees higher than that 60 degrees. For the second one, my thermometer should look something like this. So I was started at my 20 and went 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 degrees. For the next page, we're taking a look at question number 4. Is the number odd or even? So if you can write the word odd or even on each of these, and just remember that you're just looking at that ones place. So you just need to decide if 2 is an odd or an even number. Same thing with 19. You just need to decide if 9 is an odd or an even number. So finish number 4. Then for number 5, write in expanded form. So for the number 83, you need to tell me how many tens is that and how many ones. And then for the last one here, 132, tell me how many hundreds you have, how many tens, and how many ones. So if you can press pause and then play when you're ready to check. Press pause now. All right, second graders. So 52 I know is an even number because 2 is an even number. 19 is odd because 9 is an odd number. I cannot split that evenly in half. 48 would be even. 90 would be even. 3 is odd. 101, I'm just looking at the 1 in the ones place, so I know that's odd. 77 would be odd. 84 is even. And 65 is odd. When I'm writing in expanded form, I know 83 would be 8 tens and 3 ones. 17 would be 1 10 and 7 ones. 65 would be 6 tens and 5 ones. 49 would be 4 tens and 9 ones. 132 would be 100, 3 tens, and 2 ones. So if you can double check and fix any of your mistakes with your pencil and eraser before moving to the second half of the page. So for question 5, I need to circle the number in the tens place for each of these 4 numbers. For question 6, circle the number in the hundreds place for each of these. Then for question 7, complete the pieces of the grid. So remember, if I'm starting at 29 and I'm going straight down, I'm increasing by 10. If I'm starting at 62 and I'm looking at the box right to the left, I know I'm just decreasing by 1, so I'm thinking 1 less. So please press pause to complete this page and play when you're ready to check. All right, second graders, circling the numbers in the tens place for question number 5. So I would circle the 5 in the number 59. I would circle the number 9. I would circle the number 5. And I would circle the number 1 in the number 310. So if you can just double check to make sure you had those same numbers circled. And then for question number 6, circle the numbers in the hundreds place. So I would circle the 2 in 295. I would circle the 4 in 471. I would circle the 5 in 1509. And I would circle the 7 in 2720. For question number 7, complete the pieces of the grid. So if I'm starting at 29, I know 10 more would get me to 39. And then I know 1 less than 39 is 38. Then 10 more than 39 would be 49. 1 more would be 50. 10 more than 49 would be 59. If I'm starting at 62, 1 less would be 61. 1 less again would be 60, and then 59. And then 10 more than 62 would be 72. If I'm starting at 46, I'm going to do the number that's 10 less first. So I know 36 is 10 less, and 1 more than that would be 37. Then going back to 46, 10 more than 46 would be 56, and then 1 more than 56 would be 57. We'll see if this will move for me today. There we go. So we should have our 56 and then our 57. So if you can double check to make sure you have yours correct before moving on to the next page. For question 8 and question 9, we have some story problems using start, change, and end. So looking at the first problem, Stella buys a toy ball for 34 cents. She pays with 2 quarters. How much change will she get back? Can you record your numbers in the diagram and then tell me the ball costs how much money? She pays with how much? Give me a number model and then also the answer. And then for number 9, Maggie has 22 pieces of gum. She gave away 13 pieces of gum at lunch. How many pieces of gum does Maggie have after? So again, filling out your diagram, telling me what she starts with, what she gave away, a number model, and your answer. So press pause and then play when you're ready to check. Okay, thank you for your patience with that long pause. So I know that Stella was starting with 34, and then I know that she's ending with 50. So I want to think about how does she go from 34 to 50? And so that's where I'm putting my question mark. So I know that the ball costs 34 cents, and she's paying with 50 cents. So my number model, I have 50 minus 34 equals 16, giving me my answer of 16. Then I know that Maggie is starting with 22, and I know that she gave away 13. So when I'm filling out my diagram, I'm starting with 22, I'm taking away 13, and then I'm just putting a question mark with my end. So my number model, I have 22 minus 13 equals 9. And so my answer is 9 pieces. Then for question 10, Amanda baked 48 cookies. 22 of the cookies were chocolate chip. The rest of the cookies were peanut butter. How many peanut butter cookies did Amanda bake? So if you can fill out your diagram and answer your questions, press pause and then play when you're ready to check. All right, so for this one, I know the total cookies were 48, so I plugged in 48 for my total. I know that the chocolate chip, she had 22, so I put that in for my first part. So what I'm trying to solve is that second part. So my number model, I had 48 minus 22, which I know is 26. And then solving, I had my answer of 26 cookies. For question number 11, you're rounding the number to the closest 10. So when we're looking at 42, you want to decide, is 42 closer to 40 or is it closer to 50? So can you press pause to solve and play when you're ready to check? All right, I know that 42 would round to 40. I know that 79 would round to 80. 55 is right in the middle. So when it's right in the middle, then I round up. So 55 would round to 60. 64 is closer to 60. 97 is closer to 100. And 13 is closer to 10. So if you can double check that you have yours correct before moving on to the next part of the page. For question 12, find the ballpark estimate for each addition problem. And then for number 13, find the ballpark estimate, but then you're also finding the actual answer. So there's two things that you'll do for each question for number 13. Press pause and then play when you're ready to check. For question 12, so 23 is going to round to 20, 37 is going to round to 40. I know that 20 plus 40 equals 60. 41 is going to round to 40. 58 is going to round to 60. I know that 40 plus 60 equals 100. Now for number 13, I'm going to first start with my ballpark estimate. So I know 19 would round to 20. 41 would round to 40. 20 plus 40 equals 60. Then I'm going to actually solve. So I'm going to start with 9 plus 1, which I know is 10. I'm going to carry my 1 and put my 0 below. And then 1 plus 1 plus 4 would equal 6. So for this problem, my actual answer matched my ballpark estimate. So 45 is going to round to 50. 34 is going to round to 30. 50 plus 30 equals 80. Now I'm going to solve. I know 5 plus 4 is 9. So this time my 9 just comes straight down. And then 4 plus 3 is 7, giving me my answer of 79, which is very close to my ballpark estimate. All right, thank you. I'll see you next time.